All right, everyone, buckle up because today we're diving deep into the roller coaster ride that was Intel's year. From the get-go, it was clear that Intel was facing some serious headwinds. We saw the ousting of CEO Pat Gelsinger after a series of missteps, and the rumor mill has been working overtime ever since. So stick around as we break down the highs and lows, the wins and the losses, and try to make sense of what's next for Intel. Now let's talk Raptor Lake. On paper, this looked like a solid release from Intel, but then things took a turn. Users started reporting some really weird issues, like sudden performance drops and system instability. It seemed like a significant chunk of users were running into these problems, and that's never a good look. To Intel's credit, they did eventually acknowledge the issue and release some patches, but the damage was kind of already done. This whole debacle really put a dent in Intel's reputation for reliability. Okay, if Raptor Lake was a stumble, Arrow Lake was more like, well, let's just say it didn't exactly set the world on fire. Now, we all knew Intel was facing some serious competition from AMD, and they needed to come out swinging, but with Arrow Lake, it felt like they were taking some shortcuts. Benchmarks were coming back, and let's just say they weren't pretty. In some cases, Arrow Lake was actually getting outperformed by older generation CPUs. It felt like Intel was trying to squeeze every last drop of profit out of an aging architecture. The reception to Arrow Lake was, to put it mildly, lukewarm. And in this industry, standing still is basically the same as falling behind. Okay, so we've got Raptor Lake stumbling, Arrow Lake falling short, and then comes Lunar Lake, which, well, it kind of felt like the whole thing was shrouded in this weird cloud of mystery. Rumors were flying about delays, production issues, you name it. What we do know is that Lunar Lake was supposed to be a big deal. But as the months dragged on and the release date kept getting pushed back, it started to feel like maybe, just maybe, Lunar Lake was in trouble. The whole Lunar Lake saga really highlighted the challenges Intel was facing, both internally and externally. It was a financial nightmare, a logistical headache, and a PR disaster all rolled into one. So while Intel was busy shooting themselves in the foot, you know who was quietly killing it in the background? AMD. They were releasing solid CPUs, they were consistent with their messaging, and they were gaining market share hand over fist. AMD, which for so long had been the underdog, the scrappy competitor, was suddenly the one to beat. And Intel, well, they were looking a little lost, a little out of touch. AMD's success wasn't just about Intel's failures, though. They were making smart decisions, investing in the right technologies, and building a really strong ecosystem around their products. It's a classic case of one company's loss being another company's gain. So, what does the future hold for Intel? Honestly, it's a bit of a head-scratcher. They've got a new CEO at the helm, and the rumor mill is churning with talk of big changes. One thing's for sure, Intel's manufacturing division needs a serious overhaul. We're talking radical changes, maybe even some tough decisions about what to keep in-house and what to outsource. What do you guys think? Can Intel regain its footing, or are there glory days behind them? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and let's get a real discussion going.